have all the material. But I know a lot of it be welding and fabrication. I don't know, Andy, if you know anything about it.
Well, there's some other areas too, such as engineering, management, areas such as that. Also, one of the intent of Berg Integrated Systems is, as we are making the 3-in-1 box, if you will, a steel fabricated product, is to become an integrator. Currently, we're just making the shell of the box and sending that to an integrator. The folks that are involved in integration will be highly skilled engineers, electrical engineers, electricians, plumbers, all kinds of positions like that. So as we move forward in that area also, there'll be all kinds of needs as far as training goes.
What you've indicated today on the program, we'll pursue some more of this next week, but this is certainly going to have a real economic impact. I already talked about the $400 million contract. You got this 1.1 grant. You've got another grant in the works that's probably come through. The way that spreads out, it has such a domino effect. You have your facility, you have your workers, you pay them, and then you have funds that come through North Carolina College and people that are working there and their effect. But am I not correct? It goes far beyond that. In your funding and in your contract, you're having to send some money to Great Britain, or some to California where they're testing this. So, if you'd speak to that first, is that you're impacting in Great Britain, you're impacting California, you're impacting here. So that's how economic development works. It has many layers.
Yes, it's interesting, Tony. As we were moving forward on this large contract, we would have in Plummer, Idaho, we would have these web meetings, and the folks that were all involved in some of these meetings, we would be talking to engineers in Sweden, in the UK, in South Carolina. We'd have folks in Spokane, all in the central hub of Plummer, Idaho. It was just really exciting to see what the chairman and his vision has really put together, and for me to watch that be put in place, because it really is. It's got a global reach. It's really exciting.
So, Chairman, we can say that Plummer is the center of the earth, right, at this time on this issue.
Yeah.
Because of modern technology, you're able to sit at your wonderful, beautiful site and talk, as Andy said, with people all over the world to make this all happen.
Yes, that is correct. It's wonderful that, and I like to add on that, and I see how it make that possible too, because we use some of your guys' equipment for our teleconference calls and our video conference calls. Some of the equipment that you guys have down there was able to help.
So the secret to economic development is partnership, and the tribe was very wise to, and Andy, you were so wonderful to make this partnership with the tribe, working together. The fact that you were willing to sell a portion of your company to the tribe, and the tribe had a connection with North Carolina College, and you had the connection in Great Britain and all these places, it's going to have a tremendous impact. We're just about out of time, but I wanted to ask the chairman, I go back with you 38 years of tribe, not you personally. You're probably not even 38. But I've had this wonderful relationship for so many years, and the point I'm trying to make is to watch the growth, and you had some real challenging times in the past. You can sit here today and say that you really have full employment, don't you, within your tribe?
Yeah, honestly, I can look anybody in the eye and say we do have full employment. We always try to provide a job for everybody that wants a job. So there's some portions of the population that for some reason they don't want to work.
But with full employment, you even have to reach out, and you're hiring a lot of non-members of the tribe, too.
Yeah, I would say 65% of our workforce is non-native at the Coeur tribe. That encompasses all of our businesses down there.
Yeah, it's amazing. I've visited on a number of occasions, and as we're near the end of the program, I'm going to say something I've said several times before. There are tribes across America, and some of them are still having great challenges with unemployment and all. And a number of them have also done what you're doing, diversifying. But I think the Coeur d'Alene tribe is the #1 tribe in America. It's a model of what to do in economic development and how to serve their people. So I just want to recognize that, because I think you are #1.
Well, thank you.
And you've got a lot of wonderful people that's helping with that process. Again, I want to thank Chairman Chief Allen and Andy Barrett. And Chairman Allen is the chair of the Coeur d'Alene Tribal Council, and Mr. Barrett is the president of bird companies, and good luck in your projects, and I just think it's really exciting. But we are not through. We want to come back next week, and we want to talk to you about some other things. That we have some ideas about how we might look at some of your other diversified. Another thing you just did recently is you bought a bread company, and so we'll talk about all those things. I just want to have a 2-week celebration of what you're doing and how it's impacting all of our people. And thank you for being here this week. Look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join us again next week at the same time. We'll continue our discussion on what the Coeur d'Alene Tribe is doing in relation to bird companies. Until then, please have a good week. I am Tony Stewart.
Recorded on the campus of North Idaho College, Public Forum is the longest-running in-house college production on PBS. Each episode is pre-recorded live and is an educational outreach from North Idaho College. Please join us at this same time next week for another edition of Public Forum on this public television station. Welcome to Public Forum, a community outreach program produced at North Idaho College on the shores of Lake Coeur d'Alene. Featuring guests from around the globe addressing a wide variety of subjects, Public Forum serves to educate and enlighten. Please join host and moderator, political scientist Tony Stewart, in welcoming today's guest.
Welcome to part 2 of a 2-week series. We had a great time last week, and for viewers who were not with us, I would like to introduce you to the fact that we are discussing a major economic breakthrough in the inland Northwest in the Spokane, Coeur d'Alene corridor and area. And the credit goes to the Coeur d'Alene Tribe and their new partner, bird companies. And in that program last week, we discussed a contract with the U.S. Army that is starting out to be worth $400 million, and that is not minor, that is major. And I welcome back to our program our 2 guests from last week to continue this discussion and to deal with some other issues that we did not reach last week. I first welcome to the program Andy Barrett, who is the president of Bird Companies, and I guess I should say there are 3 different components or different units of that, and we'll talk about that. Andy, welcome back. It was a pleasure having you here last week.
Great. Thank you, Tony.
And it's equally so pleased to have Chairman Chief Allen of the Coeur d'Alene Tribe. He's chair of the Coeur d'Alene Tribal Council. And Chairman Allen, we congratulate you and Andy both on this joint venture, and it's a tremendous success story that we're going to continue to talk about today.
Thank you for having us back again.
And I'm so pleased to have 2 panelists. First of all is Erna Reinhardt, who's Director of Public Relations at North Idaho College, and I welcome our visiting panelist, Kent Prost, who's a wonderful friend, and he is the Vice President of College Relations and Development at North Idaho College. And Kent, let me also say to you, as the Vice President of that unit, thank you for sharing Erna with us. You're very generous that she can spend the time that she does with us. And with that, I shall turn to Erna Reinhardt for the first question.
Thank you, Tony, and welcome to the show, both of you, Chief Allen and Andy Barrett. We talked last week a little bit about what we're celebrating, the huge $400 million contract with the Army. But before we get back to that topic, I'd like, Andy, for you to give us a little bit of a background about your company. I knew your company many, many, many years ago when it was the FO Bird Company, and it used to sell awnings and patio furniture, and now you are doing fuel bladders. So share with us that evolution.
Sure.
and where you entered that picture.
Sure. The canvas industry, if you will, is largely a mom-and-pop type industry. Every town has one. It's kind of like a laundromat. And we wanted to expand and diversify, we knew that we needed to take some of that industrial fabrics that we had the experience with and actually focus on niche markets that we could really exploit and go and produce a better product, shorter cycle time, and giving the customer more value. So as we did that, we sold F.O. Berg, if you will, the awning company, to another individual a couple years ago, and largely we focus on military and disaster relief companies. Now, on shelters, we have two companies in Spokane. We've got one that does military tents and shelters, and another one that does small water bladders, if you will, that are just like the big contract that we're here talking about, except it's on a lot smaller scale, 3,000 gallons, 5,000 gallons, drinking water and wastewater tanks.
And the third part of your company then is?
Our joint venture with the Coeur d'Alene Tribe, Berg Integrated Systems. That one's designed with steel fabrication to build the 3-in-1 20-foot ISO container for remote site use.
Excellent. And Chairman Allen, a lot of our viewers are in southern Idaho. Some of them are in Montana, Washington, all the way through Canada. So for those viewers that aren't familiar with Plummer, Idaho, give us a little bit of a landscape of where Plummer, Idaho is, how big it is, and a little bit of a background of what someone would find there.
Well, I always say it's God's country. Plummer, Idaho is nestled in the northern Idaho panhandle. It's about 30 minutes south of Coeur d'Alene. It's a small town of population of about 1,000 people. It's an old, I'd say, mill town. Sawmill, logging was the big industry in North Idaho for so many years. As you guys know, logging has always taken its rough share of hits, and so we wanted to make it more of a town where people could come and live. So.
And how long has Plummer been the headquarters for the Coeur d'Alene Tribe?
Oh, it's I would only say about 10 years. It used to be on the old agency up on the about 4 miles on a little mountain above Plummer. So we bought a building about 10 years ago and moved the headquarters down there. So.
And you're being extremely modest, and I'm going to put you on the spot, but share with us what all you have there for the tribe, for everybody.
For everybody, one thing that we've always done, the tribe has always been a good neighbor. We wanted to be a good neighbor. We have a state-of-the-art medical facility that we can do x-rays, a full dentistry there. And we open that for everybody. We help a lot of Medicaid, Medicare patients come through there. As you know, rural America has always had a hard time with medical stuff, and so to bring technology to rural America was something that previous councils, I can't take any credit for that. They've done a great job of building a state-of-the-art facility. And so the second part of that facility was they wanted to focus on pre-treatment. You know, we saw a lot of illnesses, diabetes. So we built a state-of-the-art wellness center. We thought we could combat the problems of these health problems by, Olympic-sized swimming pool, therapy pool, aerobics, weightlifting, everything that you would find in any gym in the big city. So we wanted to do that. We also have a state-of-the-art early childhood learning center from pre-K to I guess first grade, and that was to help young mothers with a place to send their kids where they can get them on the right track before they get into school. We have 8 classrooms there, multi-purpose room, and then the latest project we did, we built it across the street from our new state-of-the-art elder center, where we have 18 apartments there with a full kitchen and a full TV dining room area. So our elders can kind of come together and have a meal, play games, watch TV, whatever just to relax. And then they can walk across the street to teach the little kids if they, tell a story time or whatever. We wanted to make it all in close proximity. So we're pretty excited what we've done for Plummer. We also have a full grocery store there and a gas garage station type thing. So.
And a world-class golf course and a casino.
Yes.
Just down the road.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you for that.
Kent Pro.
And beyond that, we would be remiss if we didn't mention the Citylink Bus Service, the free public transportation that the tribe underwrites full cost of and operates in many communities up here. You're very benevolent with the proceeds from your various enterprises, and I think it would be we would be wrong if we didn't point that out as well.
Yeah, I think the tribe has always felt like we're part of this community, so we wanted to help with that. And a bus system only makes sense. I mean, so many people it goes hand in hand with being friendly to the environment and trying to take more cars off the road. And especially in this day and age of the price of gasoline, people, we understand hardships out there, and we want to give people an opportunity to ride a free transit system from all over Coeur d'Alene, Post Falls, and the reservation.
I'd like to go back to the fuel bladders, the 210,000-gallon units that are under assembly right now. When you're at full capacity, how many of those 76-foot by 76-foot by 6-foot units will you produce in the course of a year?
Under the current contract, we'll produce approximately 700 a year under the current contract, but there's other contracts out there also that we're looking at, and we have capacity currently at the Plummer facility. So
those have to be a fairly substantial piece of rubber or whatever it is that it's made from. How do you transport that product?
During the manufacturing process?
The incoming raw material and when you finish the product.
First of all, it is a rubber product. It's an extruded rubber product onto a scrim, like an industrial fabric. They weigh about 4,000 pounds when they're fully done. And huge valves and hose assemblies and things like that. So there's the biggest challenge in manufacturing these products is moving that material while it's in manufacturing. We've got a series of engineers that are helping us design and build. We're building within our own company our equipment to manufacture this product using overhead cranes, air tables, and really some out-of-the-box thinking, things that have not been done before.
And then by train, the finished product is taken to a shipping point, I assume?
But by truck. And in a crate that is 12 foot by 6 foot by 6 foot and resembles a small house.
Are they completely enclosed and are they completely manufactured, or is there some assembly required when they are delivered to the site that they're going to be utilized?
The military tends not to buy anything with some assembly required. So most what they want is, and especially in the rapidly deployable business, they want it ready to roll, and that product is ready to unfold and fill.
And once they've been utilized, can they be reused, moved, relocated, and used again someplace else that are transportable?
Our style can. The former styles could not. So that is another unique feature that we have. When you have 210,000 gallons in a tank, you try to empty it, you're still going to have quite a bit of fuel left. We've got a method of removing all the fuel so it can be reused.
And are you in discussion with any of the other branches of the military for additional contracts?
Yes, we currently are. Actually, the Air Force is a larger user of this product than the Army. And we're currently in talks with them, and we're currently looking at also the Marines and another Army contract. So there's a lot of opportunity out there.
All these curiosities that we have and can't bother into my mind. Okay, the product arrives in the rack, for example, and they unload it, and how do you blow it up so that you can put the fuel in?
You literally pump you lay it out flat, and it'll lay flat, and you just pump the fuel into it, and it's got an air. Yes.
What I've learned today, and a little bit I knew before, anyone who's involved in fuel bags, they just can't compete with you for two reasons, or three. One is that we said last week that the mechanism that you're using, and you've got some of this information and copyright from a company in Great Britain, and then you sent to California, you've had it tested. So far, it just worked flawlessly. That is, that a lot of these bags before are ripped, and this one doesn't. It holds. And then when it gets to the place and you fill it and you want to move it, you can get all the fuel out of it. So my question, I guess, is to both of you is, this is a remarkable breakthrough. It's a technological breakthrough. And you have patents on this with a company in Great Britain, isn't it unlimited, the contracts that you can receive from different branches of the military and maybe even some others in the future?
I like to say it's unlimited, but I think we can only do as much as we can build. We can't. We as you know, everything is we got to fill contracts.
Sure.
So we can't fill. If we get too big and we can't fill some of these contracts, and we won't get the contracts. So we want to kind of go after as much as we can get at the market, but we don't want to get greedy. I would say.
I had to pursue this other Chairman Allen. I suppose you get $1 billion contract, and you can't, with the present facility you have, do that. But could you look down the road and say, we'll build another facility, and we'll bring more workers in, and there's this Andy who is, I think, very willing to say, and I can't speak for him, but the company can just expand, and there could be other potentials. I'm not trying to say, what I'm trying to ask in the question is, this seems to me unlimited economic impact for the Northwest here.
It is. I think it will be. I think it'll be a long relationship. And you're right. I mean, if we did land the $1 billion contract, I'm sure we would build 2 or 3 facilities, whatever we needed to fulfill that contract. So.
Because that part of that funding would be, could you go for that?
But I would echo with what the chairman said was we're going from a roughly $3 million company to a 40, 60, 80 million dollar company overnight, and obviously that poses great challenges. Yeah. And in military contracting, the worst thing you could do is not perform on a contract.
Right.
That can be. So we do need to be methodical as we move forward. But yes, Tony, to answer your question, that unlimited potential as far as.
Is there also a possibility, if it becomes overwhelming, that you could, since you have this product and you have a patent and all, could you contract out to other companies to help you with this in the future?